Welcome to another episode of Bussin With The Boys. I am your host, Will Compton, and we have an incredible guest with us today. Our co-host has returned, Taylor Lewan. He is back from the jungle, back from New Mexico City. There's only a couple of the boys in the back. We're kind of lighting the back right now, so that's
we're lighting the ass. We're lighting the ass, but the enthusiasm's there.
Tell them about the Chevy Silverado. Hang on. Make sure, which camera are we at?
You.
Me. Make sure we are subscribed and leaving comments throughout the episode. Subscribe, leave comments throughout the episode. Tell your friends now to the Chevy Silverado.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bussin With The Boys is presented by Chevy. Chevy trucks are the greatest truck ever built, and our good friends at Chevrolet have been a big part of the Bussin family and even in our personal lives. Chevy Silverado, longtime awesome partner of the show, a truck with commanding and unstoppable grit, legendary capability, and dependability too. So, find out for yourself. Like so many of our boys, head to Chevy.com, check out Chevy trucks, grit, build your own Silverado, and check out what current offers are out there during the Chevy truck season. For do-it-yourself projects to off-road, wait, hold on, we're back. For do-it-yourself projects to road trips, off-road adventures to tailgates, whatever your thing is, it all starts with Chevy trucks, the most durable, reliable, dependable vehicle on the road. More cameras than you could possibly imagine. Does the self-driving for you in the new models as well. Looks great in black, looks great in every single color. Got four-wheel drive and every single thing you could possibly want. The Chevy Silverado is the thing for me, you, and your entire family. Get a fleet of them. Enjoy it. Live it, laugh it, love it. Now, a couple of things. Will, thank you so much for the introduction. How'd
the ad read feel?
I felt great. I felt real good as I was going, and I was like, "That's weird. There's no stumbles." And as soon as I thought that, boom, we got one.
It tagged you,
and it was nice.
Do you like the papers?
Yeah, I like the paper. You know my eyes.
Yeah,
and I struggle real bad with the eyes, so that was a nice deal.
Would be helpful. I feel like that would have been helpful.
That was very helpful to me. I do appreciate that. Couple things for you. One, wasn't in the jungle. I was in Mexico City. Two,
it sounds better if you're not on the beach in Mexico. You're in the jungle.
Yeah. I was in the lower part near Guatemala. That's where I was, near like Costa Rica kind of area. And it's also not New Mexico City. New Mexico is in the States. I was in actual Mexico City.
I said New Mexico City.
Yeah, and that's okay, brother, because you're a Missouri cat, and that's what you do.
He was on me a couple weeks ago because I said, what was it, Memphis was in the north. I was like, Memphis in like the northeast part of Tennessee.
Yeah.
He said that?
That's the opposite side, but...
There was a piece of me, too, that was also working out in my head. Like,
I kind of noticed.
You did see it? Because Knoxville's east, right?
Knoxville is...
Memphis is west.
And Memphis is southwest.
Southwest.
They're polar opposites.
Right, and the Nashville's in the middle.
North, like the northern middle. We can pull up...
Relative. No. I just want to know the relative.
Memphis and Knoxville.
Technically, but Nashville's also more north.
Would you call Nashville Middle Tennessee?
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's what we need right there.
Tennessee.
Oh, dude, you're like Will with the maps again, which you do not need to bring back up. Boys, I am so fired up to be back on this bus with you guys.
It's been chaotic for our brand.
Yeah, it's been a shit show. It's been bad for the brand.
It's been bad. It's been bad out there.
I know. I'm smiling, but my eyes are...
I don't know how much you've seen. I'm assuming you've seen quite a bit, but we've taken a lot of shots.
Yeah. I mean, I even tweeted last night. I feel like it's my first day of school. Can't wait to see the boys. And then people are like, boo, you're a piece of shit. And I was like, damn, bro, the boys are still mad. I did apologize.
Because I wanted to do a tweet. Hey, Delaney and I, we got a great guest on today, Taylor Lewan. But I was like, I don't want to kick a guy while he's down.
It was interesting because, like, obviously there was the shit show. And when I got to Mexico, you know how it was. Like, I had like hardly any service. Anytime you and I tried to talk, I'd have to call you back 4 separate times in 4 separate locations just to get something done. And I get there, and I'm not really thinking of it because my logic was, well, I've taken literally 6 months off the pod for football before. Like, this is probably nothing like that. It was an innocent thought process that ended up not.
And along those lines as well, like, again, when you do those things, we've always pivoted. We've always like, hey, we'll figure it out. That was like the first thing I said to you. I was like, yeah, bro, that'd be sick. Like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the spring tour. We'll figure it out. And then obviously hindsight's 2020, and we're kind of thinking through it a little bit more. Like, okay, we could have went about that way more.
Yeah.
A lot different.
And the brand itself could have gone about it a whole lot different. Me personally, like when I get to Mexico and I go to sleep, I wake up and I have like a text come through around 10 a.m. or something like that. And it's like, it's from you saying, hey, you should probably say something on the internet. I don't know. Cause I took my social media and this is the thing that I was doing, which it's so lame that I can't talk about it because I'm
NDAs.
NDAs. But also like, I'm like, hey, I was doing something and it's like, but I can't say what it is.
Now you're about to make a box office. Top
Yeah.
box office.
Which is like, no, it's not that. It's not a Quentin Tarantino movie or anything like that. If it was, I would break that NDA and tell all of you immediately. That is the coolest thing of all time. But this opportunity was something I've never done before. So I was like super focused on it. I told Sherman, I was like, hey man, here's my password. Here's my username. Sherm is a guy who works with us. And I was like, can you just post Bussin stuff and just make sure that like, cause I really want to focus on this for that month that I'm gone. And when I saw your text being like, hey, you probably should say something. That's another thing that like, I'm an idiot. Like, why wouldn't I be the first one to say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not at the spring tour. I'm sorry that I'm not at Bussin, blah, blah, blah. It's like literally like Will, my dad, putting his son behind his back going, listen, he's doing the best he can.
And I put that out because we hadn't said anything yet.
I know.
If I think about my individual, I should have just been direct because we were sending voice messages back and forth. And I was like, hey, I kind of said something on the bus or whatever. I didn't say too much. It'd be good if you like put out a video or something. Kind of just said it without being like, hey, you need to put out a video. You should say something before I say something. Then when it was nighttime and nothing had happened, and I know we were back and forth on FaceTime, I was like, I got to put something out because we're about to cancel this live show, and I'm gonna it's gonna be bad. It's not gonna be good.
And then everybody thought we canceled the live show because I wasn't there. But before I left, the live show was like, hey, we've sold only a couple of tickets. Maybe
there were a few things. Because South Carolina, we had a low number, and then the place told us that, hey, there'll be a lot of people show up day of. When we had the pushback, not the pushback, but kind of like the disgruntledness from Dave on like, hey, like this is the Bussin' With The Boys spring tour, not Bussin' With The Boys spring tour.
Right.
And was like, I get it. You guys have a backup plan and everything else, but when sales sells this stuff and the brands think it's you guys, and then all of a sudden Taylor's not on half of it, then it's like, they might not, it'll rub the salespeople the wrong way because they don't want to stick their neck out and sell for you guys because they don't know if you guys are going to both be showing up.
Mm-hmm.
So that thought going into we've sold a lower number of tickets was kind of like, okay, we can punt this one, get one in Nashville, which we know will be on our own backyard. You'll get to do another one. So instead of doing one live show, now you get to do 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that whole combination of like, hey, load tickets. I don't know if Delaney's coming with us yet. I'm riding this thing solo. I'm trying to figure this thing out. Dave had good points about, all this stuff with the spring tour and everything else. So it's like, this to me would be better because it's almost like, if we got 15, 20 fans showing up for a live show when we could go in Nashville, like we shoot ourselves in the foot being in every corner of America trying to push live show tickets.
Right.
When we're just trying to get interviews for the head coach and players, it's like we can do one where we know we'll sell more. Like it'll be bigger, it'll be better.
Yeah.
Versus like you swing the camera around. Like we still did a meet and greet, which was a lot of fun. I feel like people were like walking away like, oh, that was sick because we got to talk with you guys and hang out versus just listen to a show.
Yeah, sit in the back room, then do a show, then go back to the back room type thing.
Obviously on the surface, it all looks bad. It looks, not
it looks
good.
bad.
I had some people trolling.
Bad.
I had somebody who told me they drove down from Canada and I was actually like, fuck, man, I felt so bad about it. But then I come to realize like this dude's just a troll. And he's just been somebody that's like been negative in the comments before.
Yeah.
Because I'm like feeling bad. I'm like, God, I know this will, in the big picture, this is like a better move on being like, hey, we're going to do a live show in our own backyard versus like show up for the 15, 20. Like we're going to make this work and give them our all. Like when we're there, have Twisted Teas, like do the whole song and dance. Delaney was awesome. But it was,
yeah. It could have been handled so much better. It's like I think, once we realized we fucked up as far as like telling people in advance, you did a great job of working everything. I really dropped the ball being with my focus somewhere else. Could have done a much better job of like speaking more on it, being there before saying something like and taking accountability. It was a tough go that first week. I remember being tight. And I didn't look at social media a whole lot, but I was gone for 30 days. And every time I checked social media, there was a new clip from Barstool, someone commenting on it, or a new something, or a new this.
Unnamed show where fucking
PFT made a joke about it.
Well, because while you're gone, it's like Travis backs out of the
Yeah.
Beer Olympics last week. Like we're having all these things, and it just boom, boom, domino after.
Just
another.
been a turbulent couple of months.
Yeah.
Turbulent couple of months to the point where like I'm now. So I jump off social media and then I come back and peek and I peek behind the curtain, but I don't see the whole context. To the point where I was like, "Yo, have we not Barstool like gotten over this yet?" Like, I like legit got tight about it for a second.
Barstool gotten over.
Like, just
you're
all
saying
the,
like
like-
when we get more,
yeah.
like when I show up to mini golf and Dave's like, I'm out of Beer Olympics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you call
Yeah.
me on that. I'm like, all right, dude, whatever.
Oh,
like it's
hey,
just
we got a full court pressure to get Dave back in Beer Olympics. He's texted. He said he's quadrupled down that he's out. So
And the thing too is like we were wrong. Like we were wrong. Mostly I was wrong. Like I handled it horribly. But when I go peek back there and I'm like, man, I can't believe this is still got to be talked about this much. Like we messed up. We're trying to do better. But it's like human beings are the only creatures in the entire world that'll beat themselves up after making a mistake. Dog shits in the house. You put your dog's nose in it. Dog goes back to being a dog. It's over.
depends on how hard you hit him.
Yeah, no question. That is true. It depends. I don't know what life you're living, but
Not me.
human beings just constantly beat yourself up. I think you and I do a good job. When we do mess up, Dave and Buster's being a good example. We have a lot of examples, especially in the football world. When we mess up, you look at it, you navigate it. You're like, okay, where do we go wrong? And then you try to recorrect and course correct. But then it's really hard sometimes when people are like, but you did this, but you did this, but you did this.
Yeah.
And that's how it felt to me a little bit when I was like, 23 days in to being in Mexico, and I peek behind the curtain again, once again, not getting context. And it's like, these guys, like, yo,
Yeah.
I was like, we're trying our best.
It's not one of those things like if we're getting coached in ball, because we're obviously getting critiqued literally every day, whether it's talked to, coached hard, cussed out, coached softly, whatever it is. It's not like when you do make a good play, your coach also follows up with, hey, but remember when you fucked this play up, don't do it again.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, I can't even enjoy like making
that
a good
was-
play. In the world of the internet, it's like people hold on and remind you, like if you make a good
All
play
the
and then
time.
another bad one comes where you make a good one, be like, but Taylor, he bailed. He's out.
I know,
And they just
bro.
reminded over
And I just, every time I
over.
saw like a Taylor bailed, I was like, there was a piece of me that kind of hit me. I was like, damn, dude.
'Cause
I didn't bail.
I'll see some comments.
I
and
know.
I'm like, fuck, I know he's probably seeing these and it just blows.
It just sucks because you do like at the like how many conversations do we have? I'll be like, hey, I want to make sure I'm not letting you down. Like
Right.
you're my best friend.
Right.
And I want to make sure you're cool with this, and all these conversations over and over again. And then you see it, and you're like, here come the insecurities. We're right down the barrel, and it's just kind of like, oh fuck, dude.
Jack had a good point. Did we talk about it on the episode, or was it more in like a team meeting where you bring up the point of like, when we do pivots, like there's been times where whether it's from the knee or something's got to shake up training wise, I got to go train here, or when you're, hey, I'm going to do the podcast, a game happens. Okay, let's not, we'll go solo dolo. Like all the times we kind of handle it.
Oh, you're
Jack-
talking about when he was in football.
Right. Or I mean,
Yeah.
either of us
Well,
doing anything.
I think as like a fan's perspective, when you were full time in the NFL playing, people
Same here,
gave
same
you the
will
benefit
too.
of the doubt too. When you had 6 months to take off, that was what you had to do. Now that I don't know what your plan is with football, let's just say for hypothetically,
Let's say hypothetically, go ahead.
hypothetically, you're
Hypothetically.
done. That means that this is now your number one priority. So the fans are not going to give you as much leash anymore on missing stuff. So I think right now is a great opportunity, even though you might not believe it, but to apologize to our fans for not being here for the last month.
Have I not spent the last?
Hey,
I think it's been a little bit of a back and forth.
Oh, okay. If there's been zero clarity, you're absolutely right.
I just know that there's some fans
Apologize.
I'm
out
going to
there.
as soon as you're done talking.
I just think there's fans out there that are like yelling into their fucking speakers, like, come on, like, just say you're fucking sorry one time. So, and that's not me.
No, Jack. Yeah.
he was bringing up, you were saying.
Do you
that
want me
we
to?
were
Can I
talking
apologize? Does you want me to do it?
Hey, apologize.
Hey, it's all good.
I'm thinking of the South Park episode where the dude's like bending down over the desk. He's like, "Go ahead, kiss it, apologize."
Bussin' fans. I know I've spent the last 14 minutes on here explaining the thought process of how everything went. I want you guys to know that never have I ever tried to slight any of you one way or another. And I have never intentionally tried to hurt any of you people by taking myself off of the bus or hurting this brand by going to do something completely different than I've ever done in my entire life. And for that, I am so sorry. I feel like seeing the backlash and seeing everything, I've really let you guys down in ways that I didn't know I was letting you down. And that is a horrible feeling, because sometimes you just go through life and you don't realize some of the people you might be hurting along the way. And if I hurt any of you by not being on this bus and not being around the boys, I am so sorry. I could have handled it better. And in the future, I will handle it better. If other things happen where I do leave for a couple of weeks, I will make sure and tell you the moment it's even a possibility that it happens and be completely transparent with you. I love all of you. I'm very sorry. Big hugs and tiny kisses.